Hey guys, this lesson is going to be on dimensional analysis where we're going to be converting linear units and units of time to different ones. And there was a episode on Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon Cooper said this quote. He said, "My hair is growing at a rate of 4.6 yoctometers per femtosecond." If you're quiet, you can hear it. And so it kind of makes you wonder if that's just something they made up or if there's some kind of factual evidence behind it. So we're going to talk about changing units. Now, we don't really know how fast hair grows, but we'll look that up. We don't really probably know what a yoctometer is or a femtosecond. So at the end of the lesson, we'll see if this is just something the writers made up or if there's actual facts behind it. So whenever we are changing units, we can multiply by a fraction that's equal to 1 because multiplying by 1 never changes the value. And so if the numerator is equal to the denominator, that is multiplying by 1. So here are a few 1 fractions that you guys can jot down. So 12 inches over 1 foot, 5,280 feet over 1 mile, 1 minute over 60 seconds. There's tons of them for time, and I don't have them all written down, but I think you guys have a pretty good idea of time. And 1,000 meters over 1 kilogram. And then you can always use 1 kilometer. You can always use the reciprocals of those, just depending on what you want to cancel. All right, so the first example, we're going to convert 15 miles to feet. All right, so I would start off and just write 15 miles. And we're going to multiply this by a fraction, a conversion fraction that's equal to 1. Now, because I want to cancel miles, and miles technically is in the numerator, I'm going to put miles in the denominator. And then what I want it to become is feet, so I'll put how many feet that are in 1 mile in the numerator. All right, and then when I multiply this, the miles will cancel. And then you can just use the calculator, any calculator, to multiply 15 times 5,280, and that's going to be 79,200 feet. Right. The next one, we want to change 1 day to seconds. This one is going to involve more of these conversion fractions, unless you know how many seconds are in a day. There is a country music song that talks about how many seconds are in a day. But if you don't know that song, then we're going to have to go through kind of a longish process. All right, so when we're breaking down time and when we go from days, I think it's best to go from days to hours. All right, and then because day is in the numerator, when I want to cancel days, I'm going to put it in the denominator. And then I know that there's 24 hours in 1 day. All right, and so that will cancel days. All right, and then next, I'm going to change hours. So because hours is the numerator and we want to cancel it, we'll put hours in the denominator. All right, and I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So that will cancel hours. All right, and remember, we're trying to get to seconds. So I have minutes. I don't want minutes. So I'm going to cancel that by putting on the opposite side. And then I know there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. That will cancel minutes. All right, and then all of these are in the numerator. So you would just multiply 24 times 60 times 60. And that's going to give you 86,400 seconds in a day. Okay, and then the next one, we have 2 units of measure that we're changing, so it makes it a little more challenging. But we have 55 miles per hour. We want to change to feet per second. Now, we can't use mph when we're doing these fractions, so for 55 miles per hour, it's going to be 55 miles in the numerator, hours in the denominator. Because per basically means the division bar. You're dividing by hours. Okay. So we have to change miles and we have to change hours. It does not matter which one you start with. I'm going to just go ahead and start with miles. So since miles is in the numerator, we want to cancel it. So we would put miles in the denominator. All right, and then I know there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. All right, so that will cancel miles. So now I basically have feet per hour, but I want feet per second. All right, this is a little different. So I have hours in the denominator. If I want to cancel that, I'm going to put hours in the numerator. And then I think after doing just one of these, you guys may know how many seconds are in an hour. So we would multiply 60 times 60. That's going to give us 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Now, if you don't want to do that in one step, it's fine. You can do like what we did last time, change hours to minutes, and then change minutes to seconds. But hours cancels. Now, this one is different than the other two that we did. So on the other two, our denominators were all ones, so we didn't have to worry about them. On this one, we have a denominator that is a number. So when we type this in the calculator, what I would do, and everyone teaches this a little differently, but in my opinion, the easiest way to do it, if the number is in the numerator, you multiply by it. If the number is in the denominator, you divide by it. So we would do 55 times 5,280 divided by 3,600. Right? And then that's going to give you approximately 80.667. And then I do want you to write your units. So your units is what's left over in your problem. So on the numerator, we have feet. In the denominator, we have seconds. So that's feet per second, which is what we wanted. Okay, so let's talk about Sheldon's hair. I looked up a couple of things we needed to know. First, we need to know about the prefixes Femto and Yocto. So for Femto, this is top one right here. I know it's kind of small. And then for Yocto, it's this bottom one. So we know that 10 to the 15 femtometers is equal to 1 meter. And 10 to the 24 yoctograms, or we could do yoctometers, we could do femto seconds, so it's fine. It doesn't matter which type of measurement it is, it all works. But anyway, 10 to the 24 yoctograms equal to 1 gram. So we're going to use those to make our conversion fractions. And if you want to know why there is even something so small, they use femtometers to represent the radius of a proton. And then yoctograms are used to represent the mass of a proton or a neutron. So it's teeny tiny measurements that are needed, but in general, we don't talk about them. Right? The other thing that we need to know is how fast hair grows. So on average, hair tends to grow between 0.5 and 1.7 centimeters per month. And then it tells you what that is in inches, but I don't think that we would want to use inches in this. It's going to be easier to go from yoctometers to centimeters. And then we would go from femtoseconds to months. All right. So using the information we have, we're going to convert 4.6 yoctometers per femtosecond to centimeters per month. Okay. So let's start with 4.6 yoctometers yoctometers per femtosecond. Okay, so let's do our first conversion fraction, and let's just change the yoctometers. So for yocto, I want to cancel yoctometers, so I'm going to put 10 to the 24th yoctometers and 1 meter. So I'm canceling yoctometers. It goes in the denominator since originally it was in the numerator. So that takes care of that. All right, we don't want meters. We want centimeters. So meters is the numerator. I'll put meters in the denominator to cancel. And then I think you guys all know that there's 100 centimeters in a meter. All right, let's work with femtoseconds. Okay, so for a femtometer, it's 10 to the 15th, so that will work for femtoseconds also, because femtoseconds is in the denominator. To cancel it, we'll put it in the numerator in 1 second. So that will cancel. All right, we don't want seconds, we want months. So for seconds, we need to get up to months. So let's just go ahead and work with hours. So I do know there are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So that will cancel seconds. I know there are 24 hours in 1 day. So that will cancel hours. All right, and then we want to go to months. Now the days of the month change depending on what month it is, but I would say on average there's 30 days in 1 month. Now if you use 31, it would be fine. I think we would still get something in the correct range. Okay, so we have a lot going on here. Now we have multiplication and division we're going to work with. So in the calculator, we would type 4.6, all right? And then because 10 to the 24th is in the denominator, we're going to divide by that. And then multiply by 100, multiply by 10 to the 15th, multiply by 3,600, multiply by 24, multiply by 30. Yeah. Okay. And then when you multiply all that out, we're left with 1.192 centimeters per month. Because the only unit of measurement left in the numerator is centimeters, the only unit left in the denominator is months. All right, and then that does fall in the range of the average hair growth. So the writers of Big Bang Theory actually looked this up and made it all work out. Okay, so you